everyone. Welcome. We're here. We're back. We're ready-ish. We're doing really great over here on this end. Um,
Doing so great.
we're doing really, really great. So there's like a lot of energy, and I think it's gonna be okay. I think we're just gonna see what happens. Um, this is Grimm Femmes, Beyond the Veil. So before we get into everything, why don't my beautiful, wonderful, creative, talented, awesome players introduce themselves? Let's be interesting this evening. Let's start with Quinn.
Hello, I'm Quinn. I use she, her pronouns. I'm playing Primrose, who also uses she, her pronouns, and she is an Eladrin Circle of the Moon druid.
I really like that Druid just had 3 syllables there. Druid. Let's go up to Anders.
I lost my mouse. It's fine. Hello, I'm Anders. I use he, him pronouns, and tonight I am playing Tate, who also uses he, him pronouns, and who is a half elf. Not really. Abjuration wizard. He's not a half elf. He just looks like it. It's fine.
Thank you. Coming directly from the King of Cats over there. Let's go down to Kaya.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaya Gaston. I play Vox, the swashbuckling Fallen Azamar rogue, and I usually have a lot less hair than this, and it's really disconcerting. I don't know what to do.
I think you're doing really great. Okay, we're gonna go up to Val.
Hello, welcome to the campaign. I am Val. I use she, her pronouns, and tonight I am playing Lapis, who also uses she, her pronouns, who is a Kalishtar druid of dreams.
A lot of energy.
She's doing great. That's my time. I'm Ellen.
Okay. Let's go down to Maria.
Hello. I'm Maria. I use she, they pronouns. And tonight I am playing Irene, who also uses she, they pronouns. And Irene is a hexblade warlock of the tiefling variety.
T. And I am Emma. I use she, her pronouns, and I am your story weaver. So, would anybody care to do a recap from the last episode of your adventure?
Oh my god.
We're doing really great.
I'll do it.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, we started out last session with the party minus Fox and another member traveling across these really crazy plains with storms of emotions. When suddenly a ship appeared out of the mists, almost crashed into the land, throwing 2 members off of it, and it was Vox and Andy. They continued their travels, and Irene encountered a storm of her own, and then Lapis encountered a storm of their own, and a lot of beautiful things happened. And now Lapis is maskless and gorgeous and amazing. And we have a werewolf named Andy, who is the sweetest being on the planet. And we've decided to rest and take some time for a little bit. And I think that sums it up.
Okay, so we will go ahead and resume. You all are going to take some time. Tate, would you like to walk us through how it is that you all will be taking some? It's your item. It's okay.
Fine, I don't remember what it's called. I'm so sorry.
That's because we don't actually have a name for it.
Okay,
It is
cool.
a amorphous thing that we are creating as we go.
So I will pull out of
It's okay. I believe in you. I really do.
I will
Take a
pull
moment.
out-
Breathe. It's okay.
It's fine. We're totally prepared for this. I will pull out my wizard's book, which is covered in doodles and pressed flowers and just things that I find, so much so that you can't even read the spells anymore. And I will flip through it to a page in the middle that you can tell has been well used and well worn, because the spine sort of cracks to that place immediately. And you can sort of see arcane runes and things, but they're mostly covered up by a sort of beautifully sketched charcoal illustration of a house. And it looks very similar in design to Tate's shop, though a bit smaller and perhaps a bit less commercial, a bit more cozy and home-like. And he'll sit down on the ground and he'll sort of start to trace the arcane symbols and say very specific arcane words, and the house image in the spell book will sort of glow and then sort of be traced like a drawing in the air out of light out in the world, and then magic safe space appears that looks like Tate's shop, but it's not. And also it's not really there, but it is, because magic.
Did great. That was beautiful.
It's house. And then he'll go inside and hold the door open for all of his friends.
Irene has a giant smile and will quickly go inside, kind of calling for both the raven and the cat bird to swoop in after her.
Fox will just be a little mesmerized by it a little bit. Always impressed with Tate's magic. And we'll also go in.
Irene will poke her head back out and say, "Are you coming, Lapis?"
Oh, yeah. I already said I was going.
Oh, I missed it. I go back inside.
As you, like, Lapis is clearly talking to, like, a tree or a cactus. Like, yes, Irene, I shall be going in. It's very, very bright now. I don't have my mask on. Oh, okay. Okay. That's a door. Good.
When you all go inside, you see there, curled up next to the fireplace, a direwolf that you recognize as your friend Primrose.
Oh, woo.
Perfect.
And Primrose, if would you be asleep or are you awake?
Totally.
Okay. Fast asleep.
I will start the process of making tea, because I can make this house appear with anything and tea can magically appear, but actually making tea is really nice, so I'm going to physically make it for everyone.
Do you need any help?
Help would be wonderful if you'd like.
Okay. I will go and help Tate.
I send my catbird to go and like gently curl up next to Primrose in like the little crook space.
I'm definitely having a running dream.
Oh no.
So I got like the little legs going.
Hmm.
Are you growling in your sleep too?
No,
No.
just the leggies.
Did you say that this was basically like almost identical to Tate's shop?
It's full of plants, but it is definitely a bit cozier, a bit warmer. It's not full of birds because he would feel bad about having there be birds in a place that only exists occasionally, because then do the birds really exist? That's a whole. So there's no birds.
Cool.
And it's a single floor space, but there's a door in the back that, depending on who opens it, can go to like bedrooms or nice resting places if people need space alone. But the whole thing is still, cozy and comfortable and communal. Kind of like the doors in the manor place we were.
If Lapis knows about the doors where you can be alone, she's just gonna quietly step, sidestep, and just shuffle towards the door, and then just open it. And you just see her kind of phew, inside.
I think Irene's gonna find a stool or a lofty area to just sit and dangle her feet off. Just kind of just observe everything. The raven just kind of flutters around. I think Irene's gonna start writing something, actually. I think she'll make her way onto something, whether it's on top of I don't know, a shelf, a shelving unit. Somewhere up high where she can kind of just watch all the goings on but still be a little bit separated. And she'll pull out a spare piece of parchment, and something to write with, and she'll start to write something and then scribble it out, and then she'll start writing something again and write a little bit more and then scribble it out, and then, not really liking any of it, she just kind of crumples it up and puts it back in her bag and pulls out another sheet. And she is going to write a letter to her parents. The letter is words that she wished that she could have said to them. Not words of necessarily harsh condemnation, but the ones that she now would say if the situations came up again, and to tell them that, to thank them for what they tried to make her, but to tell them that she is stronger now despite them. We'll just take some time to not necessarily send the letter, but just to write it out to make sure that the words are the ones that she would want to say. And yeah, she'll spend her time doing that.
As we're finishing, as the tea is finishing up and sort of sitting on the stove, sure, why not? As the kettle is warming, however that's happening, Tate's gonna look over at Vox. You know, you said some very wise things to Lapis earlier.
It's easy to have wisdom when it's somebody else.
I don't know. I think wisdom is difficult in general.
True.
But, clearly what you said was helpful. And I just wanted to say thank you for helping her like that.
Well, you're welcome. I don't know, just there was something about what she was saying that I just felt pulled towards her, almost like I don't know, it felt familiar. And even with everything, if I can do something, I've been raised to do what I can to help somebody. But in the moment, I just wanted to, I don't know, I just wanted to let her know she wasn't alone. And in that moment, it felt like I wasn't alone. That's hard to explain.
You know, I think I understand now.
I never got the chance to thank you. You were very patient with me before we went to that ball. And you're very kind. And the clothes that you made me, I treasure them, and I've got them very safely wrapped in my quarters. It felt good to look good.
I think he's going to kind of look around and then go over to a chest and pull it out and then very gently lift out a very familiar, carefully folded garment. I knew I had this. And hand it back to you.
I'll just take it and just hug it. And she'll unroll it and just look at it and put it on and kind of like wrap it around like a robe you just got out of the dryer. Thank you for keeping it safe.
You look wonderful. I'm serious, you do. I think sometimes the clothes we wear might not make us feel like they make us look good, but they make us on the inside feel safe. And clothes are important, and all kinds of clothes. The ones we're comfortable in, and the ones that we're not, but we enjoy wearing anyway. I'm sorry. It's been a day. I'm not sure if what I'm saying is even making any sense anymore. So, those storms are a lot.
They are. Then she'll kind of look at the. Could I ask a very strange question, or maybe a favor?
Of course.
This coat, it's pretty worn, and it wasn't mine. I kind of want to put a little bit of me in it. I want to make it mine. I don't even know if it's possible. Can we put stars on the inside?
Of course we can.
It almost make me feel like I'm carrying a piece of home, and maybe a piece of lapis.
I would be happy to help you with that.
She'll take it off and she'll hand it back to Tate.
Before we get started, though, I do want to No, it's fine. I'm going to go take a cup of tea over to Irene and possibly to Primrose. But I'll be back and we can work on it together.
Of course. Thank you.
And I will go put a cup of tea next to where Primrose is sleeping. See if the smell maybe rouses Primrose up, and if not, maybe just gives a gentle flavor to her dreams. And then I'll go find Irene with another cup of tea.
I think she's laying on her back now, on whatever perch she had found, and she's just watching the raven just kind of do like circles and different flight patterns in above their head, and she'll just kind of look over and say, "This place is nice."
It is. I think it knows what each of us needed, and we'll find it here.
Yeah.
Do you want any tea? And I'll kind of hold the cup up as high as I can towards Irene on the perch.
Oh, and she'll like sit up and hop off of the perch she was on, kind of land a little heavy on the ground, and she'll just reach forward and take it and say, "Thank you."
You're welcome. Well, I'm gonna go help Vox with their coat. I think Lapis needed some time alone. But if you need anything, I think if you went through that door, you'd find what you needed as well.
Oh.
I think I've we've only cast it a couple times, so I'm not quite sure if it works fully correctly, but it's a feeling. So I'm gonna go sew now because that I know works. So I'm gonna go do that.
Tate.
Mhm.
I didn't get a chance to talk to you after everything. It's been more than an hour.
Right, it has, yeah.
And if you need another hour, that's okay. But I just want... Today was a lot. And I just want to make sure that you're okay. And it's okay if you're not okay.
It's kind of funny. In that first storm, I was so angry. And then it passed. And then it felt like through the second, too. I didn't feel anything. Might need a few more hours, but I'm doing better. Thank you for asking.
Thank you for the tea. And the house.
You're welcome, Irene.
Where Lapis disappears opens and she reappears and she's holding something behind her back and her skin is this swirling purple and pink, and she approaches Vox first, and from behind her back she brings out this crown of dark blue and white and black flowers molded together with twigs. And she hands it to you and she says, Moklan. And then she goes to Irene and she gives her one, and it's blues and yellows and bright colors to match her coat. And she gives it to you. She reaches up on her tippy toes and she says, Moklan. And she goes over to Primrose in a sleeping direwolf form. And this one is violet and green and mossy. And she lays it at Primrose and she just whispers very closely, Moklan. And then she'll go over to Tate and she'll approach a little bit slower, a little bit more excited, because this is the last one. And it is woven together with autumn leaves and branches and tiny little dots of impossibly bright plants. And she hands it to him and she says, Moklan, my family.
Irene puts it on immediately.
I take off my hat. The very large wizard hat that helps make Tate feel hidden and makes him look small. And I put it down and I put on the flowers.
Lapis is a very, very bright pink and yellow right now. And she's kind of shiny with it. You get the sense if you tried to sneak around in the dark, she'd be a torch. And then she kind of just rocks back and forth. Like she's kind of unsure of what to do with herself now that she's not wearing the mask. And she just goes, boop, and goes to get some tea and sits down next to Vox.
Fox will kind of just nudge her with her shoulder. very beautiful, thank you.
You are welcome.
Never had a flower crown before. I kind of like it.
It looks beautiful on you. As does everything.
I appreciate that. Helps that you made it.
Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I used colors I liked that made me happy.
That's very good to hear.
It's just a little bit at the moment. It's just like a feeling, sort of like butterflies.
I was telling somebody on the ship that I'm on now that there are more colors than we can count. Different shades, different spectrums. And I'll like look around and I go, this place seems to always have what you need. And I'll think about something really, really hard. And I'll open up and hope that it's there. And I'm looking for a prism. A crystal prism. Do I find one? Can I have one?
It's just in the kitchen cupboard.
Yeah, I don't know.
All the
it's
doors.
magic.
Listen. Tate says the door. There can be a lot of doors.
I'm just, you know
All
what?
of the
It's
doors.
magic. We're
It's gonna
doing it.
happen.
And I'm going to find a prism. And I'm going to cast light in my hand. And I'm going to shine it through the prism. You can see every color in it. And I'll just let it reflect. There's so many colors.
Irene runs to the door, and bolts into it and closes it quickly behind her. I'm gonna DM you what she does.
It was so hard.
Sorry, specifically Emma. Just to continue.
And she'll just go quiet. And she'll just let the colors bounce around the walls. And see if it... And just look at Lapis and see if her face changes.
Her face looks kind of enwrapped, and you see as the prism colors changes, so does her skin start to swirl and change in color. And she just looks at it and says, "Do you think the prism is pretty?"
I do. Oh, go ahead.
Does it make you feel good in a butterfly way?
It does. I think it reminds me that it's starting to remind me that there are things in this world that we can look to that are beautiful. And to enjoy those things, however small or big they are, because they could be fleeting.
Perhaps one day I will fully believe with my whole heart that I am like this prism. And if you like this prism, then that prism must be very good indeed.
You don't have to go through all the colors today. Just know that there's endless colors. And sometimes I feel like I shouldn't be using, and I'll just put my head to hers. It's gonna take a long time. But I'm proud of you. And I hope one day you see what I see. And you believe it. But just be kind to yourself as you're getting there, okay?
I hope I do not disappoint you all if at times I feel...
And I'll discover you won't disappoint. You can't disappoint.
Sometimes I think I will put the mask back on, just for a little while. In public places, for a little while. I am getting used, but I feel it will take the time you say. But you are proud of me.
I'm very proud of you.
No one's ever said that to me before.
Well then, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. And you're beautiful.
I am proud of you. I am proud of you. I am proud of you. And I think you are one of the most beautiful people I have ever seen. And your wings are indescribably beautiful.
They scare me. I don't know what they are. But no one's ever said that to me before either. So I guess it can't be all bad.
I do not know what I am, or why I am like this, and you do not know why your wings are like that. But together, we have found each other, and I think that means we are no longer alone. And I think we will find out, but I do not think... I see you as very bright. And when you showed me your wings, I remember thinking you looked like some sort of queen of the night sky. And they may scare you, but they do not scare me. I think they are remarkable. And I do not think that they are necessarily bad. Just different, like me. And I look around the group and to where Irene disappeared, and I think we are all different. And if this is what different looks like, then I think it's rather nice.
It's like all the colors but one prism.
At this point, the door creaks. And Irene pokes her head out. And you can see instantly she's covered in paint. And she says, and she'll step out. And she's got like a smock on that is covered in paint. And she'll look around, and then she'll walk over to where Primrose is and very gingerly kneel down next to her and just kind of with like 2 fingers just right on the back of the head between the ears just start to like very gingerly, like very softly kind of pet to try to just ease her into waking up.
Does one leg just start going really
Yep. Her tail starts kind of wagging a little bit. and then I'll crack an eye open and see you, and then get very excited, but like, and like, for a direwolf, Primrose is really small. And she just kind of like trips over her own paws, kind of getting up. And then like goes in for a hug, but remembers that she's a wolf. So she turns back into herself. And just goes for a hug if you'll allow it.
100%. I try to like make it so that you don't get any paint on you.
On her white dress. Yep.
But as much as I can. There's magic. We can get it. It's fine.
We've got magical dishwashers. And
I
yeah.
have prestidigitation.
Yeah.
We're good.
And she looks around to everyone. She says, Fox, but you were saying what I have something to show you, and she's gonna turn and quickly go back to the door and kind of start to open it and then just wait for you to follow her.
And I'll just hand the prism to Lapis. That's yours. And I will walk towards Irene.
Okay.
Okay.
She then kind of looks at everyone else and waves her hand frantically towards everyone else to also come.
Oh, thank God.
I think my eyes are settled on Lapis. Because I have not seen Lapis.
We just automatically think you're here all the time.
Nope.
We'll give that a moment.
And
Lapis is going to see you looking at her, and you're going to see the thought cross her like, "Aww."
Lapis, is that you?
No. Maybe, sort of. Yes. Hi. Hello, I am Lapis.
You took the mask off.
If it's scaring you, I can put it back on. I've got it right here.
No. That's scaring me. You're fantastic. And I'll head over to you. And take your hand if you'll allow it. And then just give you a hug if you'll allow it. Because some things don't need words.
You see when you give Lapis a hug, when you touch her hand, first of all, she's not wearing her gloves, and the skin there changes into this really, really bright yellow. And then when you hug her, she changes entirely to this pinky yellow that has spots of bright, like, starlight in it. And then she kind of, when she steps back, she's like, she notices how brightly she's glowing, and she's like, all right. I'm still getting used to how to candle dim. There are no light bulbs in this universe. Dim the candle. Where is the dimmer switch?
Ooh. I'm sure Primrose will kind of take the flower crown that you had put by her and... Did you make these? No, put it on, kind of... Does it look good on me?
I am unsure how to answer that. Everything looks good on you. I am unsure how to quantify what looks better. I mean, yes. I look over to Tate. Yes, it does. Yeah! Oh, you were also asleep for this. And she's going to touch your shoulder if you'll allow it and say, More clan.
What does that mean?
My family.
And Primrose will go very pink at that. Not in the same way, just in like a normal elf way.
It's spreading like a virus.
Plot twist. Just druid things. I don't know.
It's a druid thing.
Reverse blight.
Light. That wasn't clever. I don't know why it came out of my mouth.
Light bright.
Ah. Did I miss a lot?
Well, there was a floating city, that we did not queue for, and I made an offering to the fountain gods so he would not devour our souls, and we met 3 ladies who gave us fancy gloves and could make boxes talk, and then we helped a police officer cook soup for her partner, and then we went on a cart, and then we went into the emotional planes, and then there was anger, and I still don't know what that felt like because I didn't have emotions at that point, and I'm still just getting them back. But Tate went through that, and it was a lot for him, but I'm very proud of him. I'm always proud of him, but I was very proud of him in that moment. And then we went through Irene's emotional storm, and she faced down something which did not look like Irene at all. That thing was scary, and Irene is beautiful. And she faced it down, and she talked to it, and I was very proud of Irene in that moment too. And then I went to my one, and things happened, and I talked to a bunch of people, which might have been myself. I'm still unclear on the magic of that. But I talked to the watery version of myself, and then Vox came, and she gave me a really great pep talk, and showed me her true self, and I was like, maybe emotions aren't that bad, but I am finding they're complicated. I've been talking for a very long time. Do you want tea? You miss tea.
I should stop taking naps. And I'll go get the tea.
I'm writing out adoption papers as we speak.
I turn to Tate and go, is that alright?
You did a really good job. Also, Primrose, this is Andy. They're a werewolf.
Oh yeah, we have Andy the werewolf here as well.
Actually, when you look around, you see that Andy is not inside with the rest of you.
Oh no.
Did we leave Andy outside? Not
There's
in the
only
store.
one wolf at a time.
This house ain't big enough for 2 wolves.
I'll go open the door back to the real world.
Why don't we, if we could table that moment,
Okay.
Tate, when you do that, why don't we have everybody go see Irene? And then we'll...
So she was patiently waiting at the door, but also just kind of didn't really know what to do with her hands because she was very excited. And you can see also her tail is kind of the end of it is just very swishy. And once everybody gets there, she's just okay. Well, and she'll open the door, and kind of gesture for everyone to go inside.
Okay.
Inside is a very large room filled with all sorts of art supplies, like paints and chalks, pencils, and all sorts of different things. The biggest thing is a large canvas. It's about, I don't know, 6 feet long. And on this canvas are, in the center, 5 figures with their backs to you. And they are white and crystalline, and they are all holding hands. And at first they could be anyone, but as you kind of take time to look at each one has very distinct bits about them that denote each of the 5 of us. And coming out of these 5 very pristine and sharp-edged prisms is this watercolor of colors that reaches to the farthest edges of the canvas, and it looks like it even goes off of it. There's this just fuzzy image all around it that the color just kind of transcends the canvas itself. And she kind of enters sheepishly after everyone else. Ta-da!
Irene, you made this. It's very beautiful. I didn't know you could paint.
I had a lot of time to myself, so I taught myself to do a lot of things. I can paint. I write poems. I can sing, but there's a lot of time to read when your family owns a library.
There's a lot of time to read when you're at sea for a very long time.
I'm going to turn around away from the painting and just hold out my arms to see if Irene consents, and if they do, just pull them into a hug.
Irene is surprised at the ferocity of the affection, but accepts it nonetheless.
It is a very tight hug.
Irene slowly squeezes a little bit tighter.
Lapis is very bright, and if both of you consent, she is going to walk over and...
You are welcomed.
Yes. Pulled in.
Sometimes I'm not super great at words, and sometimes things like music and art kind of talk a little bit better.
I understand that. And I think I think I understand what you're saying to all of us with your art. And it is very much reciprocated.
Irene's tail just kind of swishes back and forth very contentedly.
Fox tries real hard not to touch it.
Irene kind of stops, and like you watch the tail just kind of stop, and then it just slowly curls up and just pokes your hand.
That's new.
I was thinking we could hang it up somewhere here, since this is kind of our space, so that it can remind us if we need to be reminded.
I think that is a great idea. Is it dry?
Maybe.
I subtly kind of druid craft some wind across it. Not enough to like pick up the paint, but enough to like help.
Magic.
I will also gently gust to help dry it as well.
Magic.
I'll just go.
Yes.
And I shall call forth lightning into the
By our powers combined, we'll ruin this painting.
As a free action, I will cry.
No.
I think that there's probably a perfect spot over the fireplace that it would just like perfectly fit into and be like framed and beautiful and visible. And if Irene will help me, we can go and hang it up there. And then once it's hung, Tate will yawn very loudly. Not loudly, but like one of those, oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh,
Yawns.
maybe we should go to bed. Oh no.
Sorry. I'm gonna go. Irene, this is beautiful. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Tate.
And I'm gonna go through the door.
I think Box will start to take stock in the fact that it's been oddly quiet. And that there's a chatty werewolf not around. And go looking for her.
And also during the hanging of the painting, Primrose was kind of in a corner, druid crafting a flower crown, because someone didn't make themselves one. So it's like, oh no, what color is it? Oh no. It's very important. Yeah, probably like a bunch of really bright like marigolds and other white flowers to kind of contrast with the everything that is Lapis. And then she'll kind of go over to Lapis and hold it up and go, I know your favorite color is blue, but I thought this would look nice too. Maybe? And hold it out.
thank you for this gift. It means a lot to me, Lapis.
My family. And then she'll kind of scurry away.
I'm going to make her so many more flower crowns.
I really didn't want to interrupt those moments, but follow Black Cats. Thank you for the raid. Welcome. This is Grimm Femmes. We use storytelling to process and unpack real life trauma. So welcome. We're starting off kind of soft this evening. They need some time to recover. We'll get to the gritty stuff. That was all. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I would like to go and try and find Andy because now I'm very concerned.
Are you gonna go? Like, what are you doing?
I'll look around inside and then go outside and look for them.
As soon as you open the door, you see Andy sitting with their back to you on the ground, cross-legged, sort of looking out.
Andy?
And they'll like kind of look around. Oh, hi!
Why didn't you come inside?
I don't really know. I get kind of weird around houses.
Okay. And I'll just sit next to them.
That's a nice. That's new.
Lapis is making flower crowns.
She's so pretty.
She really is.
She's very nice.
They all are.
That's true.
You're not coming inside because of me, are you?
They'll kind of like look at you and furrow their brow. What do you... I don't know what you mean by that.
From what I hadn't had a chance to talk about the thing that lives inside me. And I didn't know if I had made you uncomfortable or put you in a weird position. And I didn't know if you were not coming in because of me or that, I don't know.
Fox, I don't think I don't think there's anything that you could do that would make me feel uncomfortable around you. Best friend squad.
Yeah. Team Navigator's Nest.
That's right. That's right. I think we all have something inside of us. I don't think it's possible to exist without having something. And I don't think any of us are in a position to judge one another for that. I think quite the opposite.
I'm glad. I didn't really realize it until Lapis asked me if I was afraid of showing myself to everybody, and then I remembered everybody was there. And tried very hard not to panic. Because I really love being your friend, Andy, and I didn't want to lose another crew.
Andy will look at you for a moment, and they'll start to shake, and as they shake their whole body, they turn into a wolf who's now sitting in front of you, and
Like even more wolfy than.
like an actual wolf now. Instead of being
Okay.
like a bipedal wolf, they're a wolf.
Okay.
And they will lick your face and wag their tail. And as you're looking at them, you can see them more clearly now. And you see that they are covered in scars. And there's patches of fur that are missing. And you see that they look a little bit older than they do when they are bipedal. But all you see is the happiest wolf just looking at you like, I'm so happy to be here.
Now just put my hands on either side of their face.
And they'll like wiggle in.
And just push my forehead to theirs. I wish I had more healing hands to take those away.
And they'll kind of like push against your forehead.
This is really cool.
And you'll hear like the tiniest little whimper, but it's not out of uncomfortableness, it's just kind of out of excitement. And they'll lean back and they'll kind of shake back into their bipedal form, and they're now kind of like crouched in front of you. We all carry something.
Can I convince you to come inside?
You know what? That's gonna be challenging. I really just have a thing about houses. I think I'm a lot older than I look, and I think it has something to do with my childhood, but I've never really worked it out. So here we are. I just really, when we stop in ports, I just don't really go in to them, or I stay outside of most of the taverns. I really feel more comfortable on ships. There's something about the size of the house. It's very small.
Is it bigger on the inside? It is, right? Like, it's like TARDIS. It looks small on the outside, but it's bigger on the inside. I'm asking because I really don't know.
I picture it as actually not really being a house on the outside at all. It's kind of like a two-dimensional drawing of the house frame, but the door is real. So there's not a house that suddenly
There's
appeared.
nothing there. Okay. Cool.
I mean, like, you see an outline, like a drawing, but
That's still,
Even
yeah, okay.
smaller.
It's still
it's probably even worse.
yeah. Annie's sort of like, I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know what's inside.
And so, Shogo, I completely understand. I'll be right back. And I'll run in and I will grab as many pillows as I possibly can and a really warm blanket for probably Vox, since I don't think Andy gets cold. And 2 fresh cups of tea. And I'll run out and I'll lay out 2 places.
While you're doing this, you see Andy like just poking their nose in, watching you very closely as you run around.
And I'll try to get some snacks together and like everything and just go out, and then I'll set up 2 areas out there for us and give them the tea that they missed out on and snacks and the softest things they could possibly lay on, even though I know they're not going to sleep anyways. And I'll curl up out there as well.
Irene's gonna poke her head out of the door after you have left with all of your things. And she's gonna say, "Are we having a camp out?
What's that?
It's where you sleep outside and you look at the stars and instead of sleeping inside. And there's food and sometimes there's fire.
Wow, I've done that a lot.
But this time it's for fun.
Oh. Not out of a need for survival. Okay. All right. Okay. That's interesting.
We can play games. And tell
Like
stories.
chase?
Yeah.
I feel like you could outrun all of us.
Oh, yeah, I think so. I'm quite tall. And I have, look at these legs.
They go on for miles.
Thank you. Well, kind of.
Look
I
at
think.
those gammy gams.
Can I join you?
Yeah, I'm very curious about this house thing, though.
It's really cool.
It's magical.
Do you want to... Irene's just gonna open the door and just hold it open so that Andy can just see inside.
They're gonna look at Vox.
Don't look at me.
Okay.
Andy, I would never force you to go anywhere. I'll gladly sleep out here with you all night. Or I can go in and try to open up every door to the outside to see if you can get different vantages on the house from out here.
If you just wanted, if you wanted to look and see what was in, you don't have to come in if you don't want to. Everyone just kind of like looks nervously between the two.
I'm just over here going, I totally understand what's going on, and I'm like just letting them make this decision.
How I have something else. And she'll just run inside and she'll grab another bunch of blankets and pillows and stuff, and she'll grab from the art room a sketch pad and a handful of colored chalk pieces, and we'll run back outside with her load. And she'll just
We're just bringing everything out.
She'll just begin to sketch the big room, and then what she saw behind the door. But the big room is on a piece of paper by itself, with the new painting above the fireplace and kitchen area and a little place that has all of this beautiful sewing equipment and fabrics and some bookshelves and all sorts of stuff, and just drawing it, and then we'll show it to Andy and say, that's what it looks like.
Did you draw that?
Yeah, I was sitting here.
It's really good, isn't it?
That's very, very lovely.
You can have it. And that way, if you want to go inside and see it for yourself, you can, or you can just look at this.
I don't think anybody's ever given me a drawing before. Thank you.
Hang on. And she's going to take it back for a second, and she's going to draw right in front of the fireplace a little curled up, basically using Primrose as reference, a curled up too large wolf-like dog figure, just kind of curled up there, and then hand it back. And from like the audience perspective, it's basically like Andy in their wolf form, but minus all of the scars.
There's only one of me. I think these are great though, but there's.
It's like you're inside the house, but you don't have to be there.
But what's the other dog, wolf creature?
No, that's you. That's
Oh, that's me.
Yeah.
It's a picture of you.
Oh, I thought you said you drew both of us.
No, I use Primrose as a like.
As a reference.
Yes.
Got it. I don't think anybody's ever drawn me before. Thank you so much. And they like hold it to their chest and look at it and then hold it again and then look at it. And they're gonna look over at Vox and they're gonna look back at Irene and look back over at Vox. Okay. I think that all of you faced challenges today, and I should do the same.
Irene will stand up, and she'll hold her hands out towards Andy.
I'll hold my other hand out.
I will take a blanket, put it over me, and then take your hands and lumber in. This like 8-foot tall wolf lumbers into the house.
And I make sure to go first to lead them in with Vox so that they can just follow us if they want.
It is very nice in here.
It's magic. It's a little stationary for my taste, though, so I understand what you mean.
And they'll just kind of stand there looking around at everything, and then their eyes will fall to Primrose.
Yep. Who has been standing there just kind of...
Hello! I'm Andy.
Hello. I'm Primrose.
So nice to meet you, Primrose. Do you live in here?
No.
Okay.
I don't really know how I got here, but you know, magic's a funny thing.
I'm seeing that. Yeah.
mhm. How tall is Primrose?
Like 8.5 feet.
No, Primrose is not 8.5
Oh, Primrose. I'm
Primrose
sorry.
is not 8.5 feet.
Yeah, how tall is everyone? Because I have no idea.
I am 5'10".
Okay. 5'5", okay.
Primrose is like 6 foot.
Okay. And you're 5 foot. Okay. And Vox is like, and Vox is 6 foot. So, yeah. That's my sweet bean. Am I doing okay, Andy?
Yeah, you know, it's actually a lot nicer in here than the houses that I've been in.
I'll kind of just, because it's like a living room, I'll kind of go sit over by the fireplace and grab the tea, hold it up, kind of gesture over for Andy to sit down and have some tea with me.
I will lumber and like kind of awkwardly sit on the floor because they're so big next to the fireplace and sip the tea.
I'm gonna go get everything that was outside and bring it inside.
And I'm gonna go peek at the door because I don't know where we are, and Primrose is just realizing that. What does it look like outside?
So outside, when you look outside, you see that you are in a dusty ravine with very tall sides of this, cavernous sides. It's pretty windy out there, and it appears to be like stormy for a moment and then not. There's a bit of sunshine, but you can see that when you kind of look left and right, that the length of this cavern is kind of, it becomes quite misty and foggy, so you can't quite tell what is in either direction.
Just kind of nod slowly and go back inside.
I'd like to...
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Lepus.
So Lapis is going to just quickly, when she notices Andy sit down, she will scuttle over and sit in front of them and be like, I have noticed in my assessment that you appear to be a wolf.
I am. Kind of. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
All right. I did some calculations, and I was worried that with your present wolf form, if you were to shift, a flower crown would just fall off. So I have made you a flower bracelet that should stay on despite when you shift. If you want it, of course. I'm sorry, that was very assumptive of me. I don't know if that's a word. Hello, I am Lapis.
They will take the flower bracelet very gingerly, and they're going to look at you and down and back, and you see like this very tiny tear, like their eyes kind of well up with tears. I don't think I've gotten this many gifts in one day before. And we just met.
I'm going to... Boop. One clown.
They're gonna look at Fox. What did she just call me?
Her family.
Oh. Oh, I'd like to hug you. If that's okay.
Yes, I am new to it, so I might be bad at it, but...
You can't be bad at it. And they'll like grab and pull you into this big furry hug.
I'm going to look over at Vox while it's happening and be like, their eyes are leaking. Is that okay? Is that normal?
It's a good leak.
Okay.
Yeah. Just, you know.
I was afraid the water fountain had struck.
Well, okay.
Okay.
And they will then put it on, and they'll kind of look up at Box for a moment. And they'll shake. And you all see Andy turn into their wolf form. And you all see that they look a bit older, and they're covered in scars. And there's patches of fur that are missing. And they look down to make sure that the bracelet is still there, and you'll see you kind of like dance for a moment.
Irene's cat bird is gonna kind of flutter down and walk up to Andy and just kind of sniff at their snoot and just kind of head boop, rub all over their face, and then kind of hop on, or like if they're just sitting there, they'll just curl up near their feet, because they probably can just sit normally under Andy's giant wolf form. They'll just kind of sit there and just rub on their leg.
And Vox will just look at Andy. And she'll just take her sleeves and she'll just roll them up to her bicep. And she'll let the shirt fall a little bit more. Because if they're comfortable enough to show their scars, then they deserve to know that they're not alone in that pain as well. And just go, I'm so happy to have you all my life. I've missed what it's like to have a family. I hope it doesn't go away again.
Andy's tail is gonna wag and they'll kind of lean down and really gently boop your arm and then lick your arm.
That tickles.
And then they'll just kind of like sit there and like very gingerly try to like curl up around the cat creature.
It'll move and it'll kind of circle around a little bit. If Andy lays down, she's actually just gonna like very gingerly climb on top and just like curl up on top of Andy and just start purring.
Andy will just put their head down and they actually close their eyes.
If Andy will let me, I'd like to curl around them. Kind of not necessarily use them as a pillow, but
I mean, they're like the size of like a Newfoundland, so
okay.
We could all use them as a pillow and there'd be enough of Andy for everyone.
That's right. That's right.
Good. I'm gonna take one of the blankets and I'm gonna curl next to Andy and just place one of my hands over one of the scars and just pass out.
I'll do the same.
Oh my god, we're all gonna use Andy as a sleeping bag. Take it down here, use Andy as a sleeping bag.
Lapis uses dual mind link and says, Tate, we're using Dandy as a sleeping bag.
Wait, you seriously do that?
Yes, I said I've been waiting to do that. I was like, dual mind link. Hi, Tate.
What does that mean for me? Can I respond? How does this work?
It is a singular link, so I could only send messages to you. But I was saying,
It's a baby monitor.
it's a baby monitor. Hi, Tate.
Ah.
We're using Andy as a pillow, not in a weird way. If you want to join, we are all here. But also, if you don't want to join, I hope you sleep well. End recording.
Dim the lights.
Dim the candles.
Andy has so much Scorpia energy, it's difficult.
Yep.
I know this now. I'm 3 seasons in.
We're all sleeping. In sort of the middle of the night, the door will open, and Tate will quietly walk into the room and see all of his friends asleep on a big fuzzy werewolf.
The puppy pile.
Primrose is actually off to the side a little bit, reading. Because she's been asleep for like 3 sessions.
She's watching all the kids nap.
They all look very comfortable.
They do.
I was going to talk to Lapis, but I would feel bad waking her now.
You can talk to me. I know it's not the same.
Have you ever wanted something so badly, and then when you get it, You don't feel any different?
I can't remember ever getting what I wanted. But that sounds frustrating.
Do you ever feel angry, Primrose?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever seen you angry. And I'm kind of glad when we went through the storm that I didn't have to.
Anger isn't attractive. So,
No, it's not. And the things you want when you're angry. Oh, you want them so badly. And they're not good things most of the time. They're not good thoughts.
what happened, Tate?
I really wanted to hurt him. I saw him there in that storm and it was the only thing I could think about. Was how can I make him hurt the way I always did. And I did. That's what magic's good for, right? I've got spells for that. And he did hurt. And it didn't help. I don't feel better about any of it.
And you thought it would?
I don't know. Yes. It always seemed to make him feel better.
But you have a conscience. You're a good person, Tate.
How do you know that? What does that even mean? Is a good person someone who thinks about wanting to hurt their family? Is a good person someone who has done things wrong and how could anyone be a good... I don't know what a good person is. I don't know how...
Maybe I don't either. It's just the sort of thing that people like for you to say when they're feeling bad about something. So maybe I'm good at saying what people want to hear, but not necessarily what's true.
It isn't. That's what's so hard about it. You know the right thing to say, so you say it. But saying the right thing to the right person doesn't fix anything, and it doesn't make you a good person. You're just saying I'm sorry.
For what?
For not letting my thoughts become clear before speaking. You shouldn't speak before you know what you're going to say. You need to think about your words carefully, because words are weapons, and you need to use them well. And I've never been any good at that.
They're not just weapons. They heal too.
You know, when we were out there, I think Vox healed Lapis with her words. And the whole time Lapis was hurting, I couldn't think of anything to say. I had no words in that moment. How do you help people if you don't have any words? I feel like all I was ever taught, and the only words I know are words that hurt people. Just over and over again.
Hate is a language with very specific words. And so is love and everything in between. So if you only learned one your whole life, it takes time to learn the other one. You don't just learn a language overnight. It's the fact that you want to learn it that matters. And my silver raven is gonna kind of glide down and land on your shoulder.
Thank you for speaking to me, Primrose.
I hope I said the right thing.
You did. You're very good with words.
I'm sorry I wasn't there. I should have been there. Should have helped.
I wish I hadn't been there. I look at Lapis and she is so beautiful. She went through that storm and came out. A whole universe. I wish you'd been there for that. I think you would have liked to see it. It was quite beautiful.
You can't compare your healing to hers, though. They're different. You're different. You can't expect the same results.
That's true. You know, I think I'm tired of running. I think I have just kind of chosen to be miserable and scared, and watching Lapis and Vox choose to be brave. I'm gonna take off an amulet and put it on the ground. Now we can find me. And I think if he does, I'll be ready.
And you won't be alone.
And I will smash the amulet of proof against detection. Well, I think if I tried to lay down in the dog pile, I'd disturb the rest of them, so I'm gonna go back. But, thank you, Primrose.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
Good night.
Good night.
And I will go away through my door.
And the next morning, you all awaken. And I have a cat hair all over my face now. You all awaken. And Andy waits for those of you who fell asleep on them to wake up.
Did they sleep?
Andy, as far as you know, you think they may have slept. But when you awaken, well, who wakes up first? Let's go through that. I'm assuming Primrose, are you still awake? Okay.
I think Irene would try to wake up first because she wants to make breakfast.
Okay. I think just before Irene gets up, Primrose, you would probably notice that you see Andy's two wolf eyes staring at you as they just calmly lie there. And you will hear in your head, as they look at you, a voice that does not sound like the Andy that you are familiar with, but it is clearly coming from Andy. And you will hear, I don't know much about you, but I think that what you said to Tate last night was very kind. And I hope that you extend that same advice to yourself.
I will pointedly go make tea.
And you'll hear a very long, low sigh that you would hear from like an old dog who's just settling in, but is like just a little bit like. And Andy will patiently wait for those sleeping on them to wake up.
I'll stretch on them.
Their little tail just really gently sweeps across the floor.
I'll go to the kitchen.
I'll roll off and go. Sorry I slept on you.
They'll just wiggle.
I'm sure you want us off of you now. I'll like unlean. I don't know how old I am.
Andy will kind of sit up and shake, and they'll be back in their bipedal werewolf form. Well, they can tell my age because they look at my teeth. I don't know if you can do that with, I could try looking at I don't really know anything about teeth though, or age, but that's how, I don't know if that's helpful.
I don't know if you can tell how old I am by my teeth. But when I say I don't know how old I am, I have a guess. And I don't think I had a bed until I was 7. Oh, and so, I don't know. You were talking last night. You never felt like you had a home. You didn't like going into buildings. And it took me a long time to get used to a bed.
I think it'll take me a long time to get used to this. But we can do it together.
We can do it together. And like she'll try to like, as she's talking, look at her teeth. Now that she's a little curious, like I don't know what that means. I don't.
I don't know. Captain Bones looked at my canines. I think that's what they call them. I call them teeth, but she said canines and gave me an age. So
I wonder if I could and like an idea will form in Vox's head, like, I wonder if I asked Captain Bones to look at my canines, whether she could tell me how old she was. And I'm really looking forward to that interaction.
This is gonna be a good scene.
But I've been saying this. I don't know if it's something that I need to say that I'm proud of you for, but I'm proud of you for taking that step. I know it probably was really hard, and I hope it wasn't too uncomfortable for you.
I feel like this is just very, like, you all are just so nice. It's kind of amazing. Not that, our ship family is not also the best, but yeah. I really, in a very short amount of time that I have been here, I have seen some very amazing things from you all. Terrifying as well. Not from you, from, out there, which we will have to return to, and I'm not looking forward to it. But I think, we'll be able to do it. But, I think, I'm not sure where I'm going with this. I'm getting nervous.
I'll just hug them.
Thank you. This is nice. Thank you. That's nice. Okay.
Yeah, it's weird being around so many nice people. It's almost... I don't know. It's just... It gives you a little hope, doesn't it?
I think that Captain Bones gave me hope a really long time ago, but that was because she found me when I was, I would say, feral.
I'm trying to picture you feral.
That was a long time ago. Like a really long time ago. I'm a lot older than I look.
I'm gathering that. I don't. I'm starting to get hope. And it scares me. And I love being here, but I almost... I miss the ship. But
Oh,
too
they'll
still.
be back. They'll be
But
back.
too still.
Yeah, that is very much an accurate depiction of what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's not great. But I would take this uncomfortable stillness to be with these people for just a little while.
I remember that fear of hope. But it's just the recognition that there's both shadow and light. And you need both.
Had a lot of shadow.
I would say you've had a lot of corruption.
That's one way of putting it.
Because I believe that there is also safety in shadows.
That's also true.
Boy, I'd love some tea right now.
Boy, I'd love some breakfast. Anyways.
We should eat. We have to go face some really terrible things out there. We still have a little ways to go.
Oh, it's going to be so great. And we'll walk to the kitchen.
Irene would have asked Primrose to help make breakfast, since they were in the kitchen for a bit before the rest of everyone. And during breakfast making, Irene will kind of very quietly be humming, and then we'll stop and look over at Primrose and say, "Missed having you around. I'm glad you're back."
At which Primrose will go very pink and not say anything, and just aggressive, like, really watch that kettle boil.
I think you would have liked the floating city. Although I don't know if you like heights. But it was really cool.
That does sound cool. Where are we going?
I think we're going to Andy's old village. We have, well, there's a that cart has some we have a cart and we're delivering some things. It's a really long trip. It feels a lot longer than it is. There's more emotions involved than I think any of us thought. We had so... Primrose, how are you?
I'm fine. Why? How are you?
I'm okay, I think. But I haven't seen you in a while, so I wanted to make sure that you were also okay.
You know, sometimes you just have to do wolf things. I don't know where I was. But sometimes you need to get lost in the woods for a little bit. I just picked a really terrible time to do it.
Well, you're here now. I'm glad you're here.
Really watching that kettle boil.
Is there anybody that you miss from where you're from?
No. No.
Okay, if there was, and if you missed them, but you didn't leave on good terms, do you think they would miss you?
Are we talking about me or you?
It can be both.
Because if we're talking about you, then they probably do.
And if we were talking about you?
God, that kettle really isn't boiling fast enough. Ah! I cast heat metal on the kettle.
It's okay if you don't.
Things just sort of run together for me. That's all.
Irene will just kind of stare at this bowl that she's been mixing for far too long. And we'll say, those flower crowns that Lapis gave all of us, we all get to be a family now. And we get to figure out what that means, because that's kind of complicated for me, but I hope that if you have to go away, just know that I'll miss you. And that's okay. And not to feel bad if you're not here.
Primrose is aggressively serving tea.
Irene will smile and just finish making biscuits. She was definitely making biscuits. And we'll serve bountiful breakfast. With the help, I assume, of Fox, who joins.
We'll set the plates.
Sorry. Tate doesn't come to breakfast.
Lapis.
I don't know why my first response was to go, "What up?"
What up?
What up? New feeling.
What up?
I like this new Lapis. Emotions new. Who dis? Let's look at them and go, did you want to take some breakfast to Tate?
Yep.
Or should we let them sleep? Oh. Okay. And I'll just make like a healthy plate of biscuits and is it just biscuits?
No, there's other cards there too. Don't worry about it.
Just pour
Just
on
biscuits.
biscuits.
It's just a platter of biscuits.
Oh my
And then like a
God.
bowl of gravy.
Yeah.
Like not enough gravy.
Well,
There's never enough
maybe I would have
gravy.
helped
picture
make
of
like a
gravy.
quick morning grits.
Quick clarifying question.
Hmm.
I'm British. What are
Not
biscuits?
cookie biscuits. So
Oh
they're
my
like
God.
they're like no. They're kind of like scones. They're
like
very similar
smushy
to they're-
scones.
Yeah,
Fluffy.
fluffy, squishy scones.
They're like rolls.
Rolls.
And you put them with gravy?
Yes.
Yes.
Sometimes.
I gotta
I put
add new
them-
stuff to my conspiracy book.
Biscuits
I put
and
them with
gravy are the
either
best.
honey. I either put them with honey or I put them with a crap ton of butter. Butter, yeah. And so we'll say it's homemade morning ship oatmeal grits and some biscuits and bacon. Sure, let's throw some bacon in there. And I'll give it to Lapis.
Thank you.
Yeah. And I'll just be like,
I just realized gravy might be something different to you too. So
Is it not like the
We'll
gravy
do it
you
later.
put on me? I have so many
Okay,
questions.
we'll figure it out. Don't you worry.
well, yep. This will be part of our unpacking session.
Anyways, I'm gonna walk over to the door, and I'm gonna go to knock. But first of all, I'm gonna concentrate really hard because Tate said this place gave us what we needed, and so I'm gonna concentrate really hard and be like, Tate, 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 Tate.
Door opens on the push of the knock. It's because it's not shut all the way.
Magic. I'm gonna open the door and just Tate.
The room is all wood floor and plain walls, but for one side, which is just floor to ceiling mirrors. And there's gentle music playing from somewhere. There doesn't really seem to be a source. And there's a small pile on the floor near the door of Tate's hat and the large, bulky cover shirt and pants and boots are all just laying there. And you can see Tate in the room wearing nothing but their sort of underclothes leotard that they wear underneath and the flower crown. And they are dancing.
Lapis is going to very carefully put the breakfast down so she doesn't spill whatever gravy is. And she's going to walk up to Tate, where Tate is dancing, and she's going to say, "Can I join?"
Hold out a hand.
I take the hand, and you can see where the music is playing from the spots across Lapis' skin. It's like bursts of blue fireworks. Tate? I say whilst we dance.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you? I ever tell you that when I got the heart in the house of weird rooms, you were utterly bright. And I still don't know what that means. But I like to think, well, that's just how you look to me all the time. You are sunshine and moonlight and everything bright combined. And that's what I see when I look at you. I just see the light. And it doesn't mean I mean, I have bits that I don't like. I have a lot of bits that I don't like. But that's all part of light. There's some shadows, but that just makes the light that shines all the brighter. And I think part of that is because you found me when I was lost, and you were like a light. And I will love you and be proud of you, who you are, and whoever you will be.
I love you too, Lapis. Thank you for being my family. And he'll kind of start to twirl them. And as they continue to sort of dance around the room, two glowing, angelic wings appear on his back as they dance.
I knew you were like a guiding star.
You're starlight. But you can be starlight and I'll be a sun.
I think together that makes us a whole universe. I have one more request, if that is okay. I sense I have some things I have to do after all this, but I have had no wants for a long time, but Tate, I would really like, wherever I go, I would very much like to come back to your shop. Because the shop is cozy and nice. But the shop also has you, and you are home, and I would very much like to return home.
You can always come back to me. Or I'll go with you.
I was afraid to ask you, but yeah, if you want to come too, that'd be fine. I just didn't want to take you at the shop.
I would love to come with you, Lapis.
I think we shall have some grand adventures, Tate.
I think so.
And there's breakfast happening in the kitchen. The two of you continue to dance. Rhythmic High, thank you for the raid. We're just about wrapping up. But stick around, because Overlight is up next. And as you all sort of bask in this morning moment, those of you who are sort of near Andy can sense their haunches begin to go up. And you can see that they're starting to sniff the air. And they whimper slightly. And they run to the door and throw it open. And you can see that they're ready to grab their great axe as they run outside. And you can hear them let forth the most mournful, sorrowful howl. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
You leave my Andy alone.
Y'all, we're in it now.
I'm not ready for a sea of sorrow. No.
So, why don't we go ahead and do our outros, share your favorite moment, where we can find you, and get ourselves out of here so that Overlight can get set up. So, why don't we just start with Val.
Panic.
Flevens. Oh, heck and heck. Hi, I'm Val. I'm the Nerdy Niffler on all the Twitters. My favorite moment... yes, I get to say it for anyone else. Primrose and Tate. I was like, and I was just listening, and it... I can't put it into words. It would take too long, and there aren't enough poets. But yeah, that was beautiful, and I loved it. I love everything. This session was great. Bye, guys. Bye.
You can find Val here and also on Twitter at the Nerdy
Bugger!
Niffler.
You can find me here on Mondays with Grimm Femmes, and also on Thursdays for Project VHS. It also stars Maria, Quinn, Emma, Anders, and maybe Kaya as a mysterious robot. Just floats in occasionally.
I'm there in spirit.
Yay!
Don't say that, though.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's bad things happen in spirit.
You don't want that.
But
It's at 8 p.m. on Thursdays, and I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Latest.
thank you. Let's head over to Anders.
Hello, I'm Anders. I'm a person on the internet. You can find me at Anders_D_K on Twitter, where it's links to all my other things. Project VHS, Thursdays, watch it. Except this Thursday. Don't watch it this Thursday, because it won't be happening. Because PAX. You can find me at PAX, where you'll also find several others of us, but not everyone, which is really sad. But yeah, that's a thing. My favorite moment was the painting by Irene was beautiful, and Um, I want it for real. So someone get on that, or don't, or maybe I will. I don't know. It was just great. It was beautiful. I loved it. Okay, I'm done talking. Bye.
And down to Maria.
Hello, I'm Maria. You can find me at Happy Capster on Twitter. And also with Goblin Society Games at Society Goblins. There's a lot of magic item shenanigans happening for D&D there. Also here a lot of times, like on Mondays and then Thursdays with Project VHS and such. This week, to throw it out, we're not having Project VHS. However, myself and not Dan Gaston, as life got in the way. However, Val and I will be spooky space adventuring in a 2-player GM-less game. So still come on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. It's just going to be a different kind of spooky space. And then Sundays, Urban Shadows with myself and a bunch of other people run by Taryn. It's great. It's cool. My favorite moment was dancing. It was just those brief moments where all of the guards come down are always so fantastically precious to me, and I love it so much. That one.
Quinn.
Hello, I'm Quinn. You can find me on Twitter at Quintastic_. All my links are there and my schedule and stuff. But Project VHS, that's a thing. Tomorrow, for Giving Tuesday, I'm gonna take this ambassador, and we're doing charity streams. So check my Twitter for that. I have giveaways that are Bethesda related. Favorite moment? God, so many. I had it and then it went away, and we're pressed for time, which means my brain stops working. Flower crowns. Lapis making flower crowns. That made my heart happy. Yeah. Twitter. I make games. Anders makes games by his games. By my games. Thanks.
Kaya.
Hey everyone, I'm Kaya Gaston. You can find me on Twitter at Charisma. I live here, and I live over on Dice Priory on Tuesday evenings for Firefly Tales of the Verse. Myself and Anders are on there. We are married. It is fantastic. 10:30 Tuesdays. I also have a show here called Nerd Out. It is season finale tomorrow. I've made it a whole season, 8 episodes, y'all. It is so crazy. I am sitting down tomorrow with Dan Dillon, and we're going to talk about game mechanics and all his favorite stuff in the D&D world and how it can just add to your role-playing experience. Please stop by tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern at Barrier Rolls, and please come back and see us next Monday. Next Monday? Yes, next Monday, Grimm Femmes.
No,
not next Monday, because PAX. But say hi to me at PAX, please. I like hugs and high fives.
Thank you, everybody. I'm Emma. You can find me at MK Hansen on Twitter. You can find me here on Mondays. Thursdays, you can find me on Project VHS, but not this Thursday, but you can find the other two, that being Val and Maria. And you can also find me at PAX. See you there. Everybody be safe. Stay hydrated. I don't have a favorite moment from tonight because I like the whole episode, the whole ding dang thing. It was really beautiful, and you're all great. And I love you. And we're going to get out of here. Stay for Overlight. Please enjoy. Bye, everybody.